You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Absolutely perfect way to start the Monday Night Raw After Show. Of course, that's the music of professional wrestling legend, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, who is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. You know what else was in the Twin Cities tonight? Monday Night Raw. That was live, and we're back live right here on AfterBuzz TV. Hooray! Right back. Before we get started, guys, we got to sell some merch. Here we go. Our boss, the owner of AfterBuzz TV, Maria Menounos, she's got a new book out, and she's looking good, and she's trying to help you look good. This book can be found anywhere books can be found. I'm talking Amazon. I'm talking other internet things where books are. That's a good, you can go to one of those sites.
And it really helped. She lost 40 pounds.
Yeah, and she did it the right way.
Yeah, and she kept it off, obviously. She's in amazing shape.
She's in ridiculous shape.
So if you want to learn the secrets.
And she loves wrestling just as much as all of us. She's wrestled in a damn WrestleMania. So buy the book just for that fact alone. Buy this book.
You want abs like that.
The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness. Maria Menounos. Mwah. Love you, girl. All right. Don't tell her I kissed her book. All right, so welcome to the show, guys. Jonny Loquasto here. To my left, as always, looking lovely. Not quite as lovely as Damian Sandow, but she's trying.
What?
She's at Cathy Kelley on Twitter. She's Cathy Kelley. Where's your ribbon? Come on.
I want a leotard like that.
Yeah, right? Jeez, where do you find those in Minnesota?
American Apparel, probably.
That's true.
I feel like they have everything.
All the American Apparel ads, I just have like 12-year-olds wearing unitards, and that's supposed to sell merch. I don't know how it works.
Damian Sandow could sell those unitards.
He sure as hell sold it tonight. Across from me, we have no Dale Rutledge tonight. He will be back actually in 2 weeks, but we have a power-packed squadron across from me. Right there in that lovely hobo t-shirt and black sport coat. He's the creator of the Wrestling Viewpoint Network and the producer of the massively popular Schmoes Know movie show that airs live right here on AfterBuzz TV every Thursday night, 6 Pacific. Find him on Twitter at Ken Napzols. Right now, he's Ken Napzols.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Let the crowd cheer for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thanks for the pop.
Huge pop, huge pop.
I'm glad to be back because I have received 5 calls in a row from Cathy Kelley that I've turned down the opportunity to return here.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be back.
You only come back when Johnny's on the show.
Oh,
so
there's a theme? No?
Somebody likes me.
Well,
which is wink. Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm glad to be back.
It's all
Cathy.
a work.
I was excited because I might get to slap Johnny later, but are you?
Oh, me? You want a piece of me?
Maybe.
You want to go for me?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
go for it.
I wouldn't mind
it.
someone else getting abused for a change. I'd be okay with that.
I'll take it.
Cheeks have recovered
Is
finally.
it for charity? Am I being slapped by Cathy Kelley for charity?
I'm going to give her
Just
$5
for
a
views.
session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more views.
That works in this town.
It does. To the right of Ken Napzols, very funny comedian. He's been on the show. He's now a friend of the show. You loved him last time. This man, if knowing every possible wrestling reference and match that ever existed could get you girls, this man would be a polygamist. Give it up for Nat Baimel. Find him on Twitter at Nat Baimel right now.
Good to be back, everybody.
What's up, man?
An interpretive hand dance that you were doing?
I was actually doing it underneath the table, too. You just couldn't see.
Well.
With what?
With my legs. I have no legs. You just unearthed my deadly secret.
Oh, glad that's your legs.
What's going on, Nat? What'd you think of tonight? Quick impression overall.
Bookends. Good matches up front, at the end, and in the middle, a lot of squashes. I enjoyed it.
It kind of reminded me of a modern version of an old episode of Wrestling Challenge or Superstars, didn't it? It just a bunch of dudes just getting beat up real fast.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was cool.
It brought me back to my youth. I just really wish that we had just a proper jobber on the show, just some guy already in the ring named Steve.
Yeah.
Joey
Maggs, Barry Horowitz, Mike Sharp.
Steve Iron Mike Sharp, just a new version of Iron Mike
Zach
Sharp.
doesn't work?
Maybe. I don't know.
He is now.
We got a Zach Irons.
You need Zach with an H, though.
Yeah, definitely. Zach with a K, that's
That's cool.
Yeah, Ryder.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Yeah, we love Zach Ryder, though. We want him to win.
Do other stuff.
But with an H, that's like a Zachary. That's
Zach. No, he goes by Zach. That's a new job, or his name should be Zach.
Zach Miles.
Zachary. Something fun. But yeah, it was weird. A lot of squashes tonight, but you know what? It wasn't a largely... compared to last week with the way Raw ended with Rollins making us all cry, there wasn't a lot that went on, but you know, it's like you said, bookends. It served a purpose.
Yeah, they don't do the Game of Thrones thing where they'll just rip your heart out every single week.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, we have to have an emotional break. We can't just do it's all right, I was expecting Cena to turn by the end, just keep twisting the blade.
Did something happen in Game of Thrones?
Some guy's eyes got poked out last week. His face got crushed.
You know, that's what you do in during that time period, right?
Yeah.
You gotta poke out some eyeballs. I don't watch the show. I have no idea.
I was hoping in both Game of Thrones and in this, they were just going to open up this week's episodes with, we're just joking.
Oh, I thought you meant you wanted Roman Reigns poke Seth's eyeballs out. There goes that PG rating.
Their editing department could put that together. They're that good.
Yeah.
Cat's good.
No doubt about that. Let's start off here, Ken Napzols.
Yeah.
Authority hits the ring. Triple H with a smirk on his face says, you know what, it's a good night to be right. And then they kicked to a video of Dr. Joseph Maroon, which I thought was a joke at first. Because Bugs Bunny used to say moron as Maroon, and that's what I...
Right. You thought
One letter off.
Yeah. I've adopted that. But he's a real doctor on camera. I wonder how many takes it took. But he basically said Daniel Bryan is unable to compete at Money in the Bank, which I called it last week. Anyone with any medical knowledge knows there's no way.
You.
They should not hire me to be a PT because I would probably not pay attention. But, yeah, it was clear he wasn't going to wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely. And turning real-life stories into fake angles is a building block of professional wrestling. That's how it became a work back in the day. So this is what they had to do. They did it right. Triple H's key statement is, we were right the whole time. Yeah. So he gets to turn that into his storyline. See? Told you. B-plus player.
That's exactly what Stephanie said. You cannot expect an A-plus recovery from a B-plus player. We're going back to the B-plus thing, but... Yeah. I mean, that got a lot of heat, though. So
everything they said did.
The thing that made me sad is they actually were right this entire time. Daniel Bryan, who's the good guy, is just no, this is mine. And then in the end, it's oh, I guess. And they just took the belt from him. And the thing that I kind of liked was they cut the promo for 4 or 5 minutes, and they point upwards, and the belts have just been hanging there the entire time. And this is me being utterly nitpicky, but in a silly way. How did they get the belts from Daniel Bryan if he wasn't even in the same city as them? Did they have someone hired off as maids to just steal it from his hotel room?
Pony Express? I don't know.
I think a repo man went into the house.
Yeah,
kind of took it.
Oh my God!
No, he means the actual wrestler Repo Man, which is a little before your time of watching wrestling.
Yeah. Barry Darso, the Repo Man,
otherwise known as Smash from Demolition.
But that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, hanging there. But hey, again, this is sad.
Were you surprised that Daniel Bryan wasn't a part of the episode? I mean, it's kind of a anticlimactic.
In all honesty, if he has to lose the belts, just keep him far away. It's one of those instances of absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Right.
Keep him away long enough. Forget that he ever even was the wrong one in this situation. And then when he's ready to come back to a monster pop, and he'll be the returning hero.
That's a good point.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see him stay away. This also speaks to the fact that this might be a legitimately long-term serious injury, which could be a horrible deal of fate to Bryan at the wrong time in his career. If he comes back and Reigns has the title, or he comes back and Rollins has the title, or something crazy like that. If it's Orton, I know he's coming back soon, but
I think this hits the reset button on his reign,
does.
essentially. Like,
Yeah.
it could get stale with having a good guy in that spot. And, we've been waiting for it to happen for so long that now we're even more behind him than ever.
Daniel Bryan's career in the WWE has been Obi-Wan Kenobi saying, "Strike me down if you must, it will only make me stronger." He was fired for...
Solid reference there.
Yeah. Heck
He doesn't just have wrestling references,
I was
people.
going to say, how do you not get girls?
Hey, ladies!
I don't do too shabby, if I must say so.
Hello, ladies.
But if he chokes out Justin Roberts, gets fired, comes back more popular. He loses the title in 18 seconds, makes him more popular. The yes thing gets over. They don't want to make him the guy. Fans put him in the main event of WrestleMania. And in a cruel turn of fate, he gets a neck injury. So I can just see him coming back more and more popular every single time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we don't really know what procedure was done. They tell us it was for foraminectomy, which is not that long of a recovery. But you don't know for sure.
How do you get the girls with them references?
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'm thinking he could be back by SummerSlam, but that's a tough call, and he's going to have to really change the way he does things in the ring. I think that drop kick in the corner, I think is going to have to go because there's always a chance of landing on your neck on that one.
Well, the way he does it is actually safer than it might seem because half the time he just sort of does a backflip, but like his dive and headbutt has to go. His suicide dive probably needs to be gone. The way he does the drop kick off the top. But at the same time, he's a guy who has a million moves in his arsenal that he just doesn't really do that often.
Sure.
Like, I rewatched the SummerSlam match he had with Cena, and he would do a superplex where he would like cradle his leg so he wouldn't even fall off with him. Just make that a part of the arsenal. It's a cool visual of him upside down, hulking up. So
we'll see. I know they're not going to want to rush him back into a championship match. Like I would like to say, he'll be ready by SummerSlam, but at the same time, are they going to want to really thrust him into that position right away? I don't know.
It's also a matter of, his whole thing was the chase for the title, and to the point where we almost got sick of him chasing it. So I feel like if we have to go through all that again, we might lose hope in him. So hopefully it'll be you're
shorter
back.
Chase.
Yeah, gee.
Yeah.
That's my fear, is that if this is as legitimate as it might seem, it's gonna take some momentum away. I agree with what that saying is he can overcome this if he's back by SummerSlam, but if he's back by Royal Rumble or something, it becomes a forgotten thing almost. Not that we would forget him, but 6 to 8 months in wrestling is a long time this day and age. So my fear is, as a fan of his, that there's going to be a little momentum loss. That's why I'm looking for indicators that if he comes back, if Orton has the title, then it's kind of storyline. If they move it on to someone else, Reigns or someone else, then my fear is that, again, it's going to be a long-term thing.
I got to be honest with you. They put the title on Orton, dude. Goodbye ratings. Because he just, and I love Randy Orton, but just no one wants.
Did you miss him tonight?
No.
Exactly.
Well, I loved his tweet. His tweet was amazing.
Yeah. I said this. His tweet, 12 years, I just didn't get him. Not hate, just I don't get it. In one tweet, I'm like, all right. I'm on board now.
Yeah.
I did it.
I don't know. We still have 2 more people left to find out, who's in the Money in the Bank match. I would love to see a surprise, maybe a Jericho. I don't know.
I think I would rather see it on Orton than ADR right now.
Yeah.
Well,
there's no chance.
Yeah.
He's strictly fodder in that match.
I feel like they almost are bummed out they had that match on SmackDown because they're like, he's already in. Great. Damn it. I don't know. But yeah, they strip him of the title, and then, of course, they say Brie ended up quitting for nothing. So we'll see if that turns into anything.
A baby.
A baby? You think it's a baby?
Kathy's still going on the baby train.
Probably not.
Okay.
But
I mean, we know from Total Divas that she wants a family, so that's possible.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they set up a Brie and Stephanie match. I want Stephanie to return to the ring for some reason.
That would be
I don't know why. She's in the best shape of her life right now. Seems like that's the direction that we're going. Some kind of mixed tag at SummerSlam, but what?
I want that.
You want that?
Yeah, that'll be cool.
You want that or Brie to have a baby? Decide.
Yeah. Once you go baby, you got to wait a while. You got to do the baby.
So
How
I
many,
heard.
like 9 months?
Something like that.
About 9 months from 38 to 42 weeks.
What's that pamphlet said in high school?
So we have Alberto Del Rio already in the match, and they just threw Randy Orton in there. Didn't have to qualify.
As Triple H said,
He's the
because
Viper.
he deserves it.
There are a handful of guys that, if they said Cena was in the match, you'd just be like, I get it. Like Orton, he's one of them.
Totally get it. And plus it just adds to them being
Part
the
of
authority.
evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Batista just waited one more week.
I know. That's the question. Is he going to come back? Probably not.
No.
But
he's done a raccoon movie to promote.
Yeah, is he really?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in August.
Oh, that raccoon. I thought you meant like a Disney movie. I was like, wow, he's really killing it right now.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, right. So yes, that's what's going on. Daniel Bryan is not here tonight. You must adapt or perish. Then he gets into Seth Rollins adapting. And he says Dean Ambrose will face the Wyatt family tonight with a partner. So it'll probably be a handicap match because no one wants a team with Dean Ambrose. I guess he forgot Roman Reigns was in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But still. So that was an interesting start. Weird to see Daniel Bryan stripped of the title when he wasn't there.
Like I said, it's also really emasculating just to see someone like have to physically hand over the title and just leave defeated. So just better to just have it be, oh, it's an injustice, or oh, he was screwed once again. Some devious maid stole the belts from his hotel room, and they're putting up on like a wire hanger from
Devious
the roof.
maids
Did you
on
say
Lifetime.
that because we just did the after show for Devious Maids?
Now it was intentional.
Yeah, good call, buddy. It does make Money in the Bank way more interesting because we know whoever wins. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly thrilled with the 4 contestants we have right now. Nothing too exciting for me, but we'll get into that. First match of the night. I mean, candidate for match of the night up until the main event. Actually, it probably was the match.
Oh God,
I got the match tonight. Yeah.
Sheamus, Bad News Barrett. Yo, these guys put on a pay-per-view quality match. Tons of near falls, hard bumps outside the ring. I'll let you guys analyze it, but Sheamus ends up getting the bro kick for the win, so he moves on to Money in the Bank. But overall thoughts on that?
Oh my God, it's Ireland versus England, the 2 mid-card titles going at it. I could watch
They
these
don't
two
like each
wrestle
other.
forever. Just 2 giant hosses just clubbering on each other. It's like, oh, if you hit me too hard, that's okay. I'm going to hit you too hard back. And they just go.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to see Barrett kind of renewed. This whole B&B thing is kind of picking up steam. They're doing it kind of right. He's got some, looks like almost new moves he's putting into his set of skills there. And Sheamus is always solid. I don't hate or love Sheamus too much either way, but he's always solid. I'm always kind of glad he's there, and he knows how to put on a good match. So it was fun to watch these 2 guys just kind of go at it full speed.
Go ahead.
I really thought that Bad News Barrett was going to take it several times. And then I miss the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that would come into play
It was a good
occasionally.
For me, it was a good start to the gimmick, but you've got to move past it at some point because he's got to get to the ring. But I guess how would you want to see it executed? Every
he
time?
he would just have a match later in the night, and prior to that, he would come out and say something.
They should get the podium to Bo Dallas. No, just let him use it.
Yeah.
Barrett had one of my favorite quotes of the night when talking about the Money in the Bank qualifying match that he was in. He said, once he gets in that match and once he goes up the ladder, he's never coming back down. I love little quotes like that in wrestling. That was a good promo he had there to start that match.
And you talk about Barrett's renaissance. It really is interesting because I don't know if I think the whole Bad News Barrett thing, I almost feel like that was a goof and they didn't really expect much out of it. Or maybe they just knew that how the cynical audience that today is, they just knew people would get behind it.
When it started, for me, it was a bit of a disappointment because this is a real tough guy. This is a guy who was a street fighter back home before he got into wrestling, all that stuff. And he had such a promising start with NXT and Nexus, and he kind of meandered and this and that. So for me, it was like, he's doing like
I think the low point was when he was the barber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, he was just gone off of TV for like 4 or 5 months for no reason. Then he comes back with his gimmick, it is a weird thing because it seemed like a goof. It was like something he did as a joke on an online show.
Right.
And I think the audience took to it like the way movie audiences took to Snakes on a Plane, where this is just ludicrous.
Or Sharknado?
Yeah, exactly. Where we love it because of how ridiculous it is.
And one of the keys, and we'll touch on it later with Sandow, but you mentioned it about Sandow, but I think what Barrett did when the podium started is commitment to the gimmick no matter what it is. So even if Vince gives you this, you're going to be Bad News Barrett, you bang that gavel and the crowd's going to react to that.
He connected to the audience too because we thought it was so funny, and you could see like he was breaking out into laughter during half of the original one. So
it's like the second or third one when they got him really high up.
He knew it was working. He knew it was working.
So it's been fun. There's another guy who was derailed by injury for a while. His momentum stopped, and now it's great to see him come back. I love watching him tonight.
Absolutely. Moving on, Luke Harper backstage somewhere in a dungeon. I have no idea where they're at. he gets urges from a deep, dark place. But thank God Bray comes in to save that. And he says, every man has urges, but the true measure of a man is to learn to control them. The Shield fell victim to the fall of man. I am reborn, and my urges can never be satisfied. I don't know.
Between your voice and Nat's face during that,
Yeah, we should do a split
thoroughly
screen.
creeped out.
Yeah, I did that a lot. Moving on.
So we know the Wyatt family's coming up later on in the show. Next, in my opinion, Lana, this is my favorite Lana promo that she's done.
Oh my God.
You could tell she was really enjoying it.
We almost have to go line
It's a
for
sissy
line
man.
on this thing.
Go, please.
I took too many notes on this. She does her usual little turn on the catwalk. She
Yeah, she
says
does.
our leader. Doesn't necessarily say Obama. So this could either be Obama, this could be Vince, Triple H. He's a man who oozes weakness. He is, how you say, a sissy, a dirty man.
It sounded like a SNL Hans and Franz skit. Like she
Yes.
took the exact lines from that back in the day and just used them in her promo tonight.
It's something I learned going to college in storytelling classes. First thing they tell you, when you're trying to convey something, you show, you don't tell. So she had to show us that, yes, Obama is a girly man. We had footage of either Obama himself or a lookalike.
No, it was Obama. That,
Was it actually
that video
Obama?
came
I mean,
out
look,
last week, yeah.
Our president was getting it in, though. I mean, he was doing
That's
some,
it.
some delt raises,
Yeah.
doing some shoulder press. Come on now.
I don't know, man. I think he could have used some of the girl. What's the name of that book?
Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness in stores everywhere.
I'm just saying, Obama could have used that. It would have been a much more thorough, invigorating workout.
Sissy and a girly man. And she had fun.
Girly
Oh my
man.
God, I had fun.
Yeah. That sounds even weirder than the face you just made about 30 seconds ago. Wow. Anyway, so Obama's working out. He getting it in. Then she says Vladimir Putin is virile. And then we saw his boobs on a horse, and that's when I
Yeah.
clocked out.
No, first we saw him in judo tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And then him shirtless on a pony.
Yeah.
Looking magnificent, which, by the way, all the news I hear about, Putin and, how he's, anti-gay and just a terrible, horrible human being.
Yeah.
Just because, my cynical wrestling fan in me makes me want to cheer for the heels, she's kind of making me like Putin.
Will you stop
What?
it? Will you stop?
That picture could be on a romance novel, though.
Jeez. On-
Fabio style.
Kathy's like, trust me.
That would be the cover of 50 Dude Shades of Grey. Is Vladimir Putin on a horse with his
Shaved chest.
Yeah.
Lana's done great, man. The crowd loves her. I mean,
my
you
gosh,
love her.
yeah.
I love her. I mean, everyone loves her. At first, it's because of her beauty, but I think it's catching on.
Her booty?
Her beauty, her beauty, and her booty. All right, if you
okay.
must. Her promos. She's one of those NXT. I've memorized my lines kind of promo people, but she's kind of growing past it. I actually could buy into a Lana stable. Give me a
Yeah.
stable of Russians.
There have been a couple times, though, I feel like in the past few weeks, where she's reacted to the crowd.
Yes,
and
yes.
they've said things, or they're booing
Like,
her or
"Shut
something,
up.
and she
Shut up,
reacts to them.
America.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think she's learning quickly because she's only been there about a year.
Absolutely, and she's new to the game. Yeah.
I want her to have a literal stable of Putin's horses.
Oh my God. I want to have a gang of Vladimir Putins, just shirtless dudes with
All
jiggling
right,
boobs.
horses. But I think it's
But
time,
we'd
man.
love that.
Have an old school 80s Cold War heel faction.
I mean, that's what they're going
Lana's
for.
red team.
The thing I made note of now that she brought Obama into this, I really hope this leads to a mixed tag match at SummerSlam of
Her and Michelle?
Rusev and Putin versus Big E and Obama.
Jesus. Do you smell what Barack is cooking? I think it's only a matter of time till Lana actually gets in the ring,
Barack
too.
Lesnar.
yeah.
She's training. She's a professional dancer. She's super athletic. And I think at some point she's going to have a feud with somebody and get in the ring.
That's interesting, though. We're talking all this time about Lana, as we should, but the man she's supposed to be getting over, Rusev, is kind of, and he's such a talented guy.
No, it's just he keeps
He's getting
destroying.
overshadowed a
Yeah.
little bit by her.
His matches aren't. He just keeps destroying people, which I'm all. Yeah, I get it.
That was the question I have. If we're hearing now that maybe Rusev will eventually move on to face someone like Cena or something, they're going to try to do that route. We've seen that with Ryback. We've seen that with Tensei. How do you guys feel that they could get this to finally work?
You mean Jason Albert, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know. I think part of the problem is people know that he's going to destroy everyone. So how are you going to get invested in his matches?
Well, it's because, I mean, and I love the guy, but when you see Zack Ryder already in the ring and then you hear Rusev's music hit, you're just like, well, this isn't going to be very competitive.
Yeah.
I actually counted 0 punches thrown by Zack Ryder in this match. Flawless victory. Yeah.
I want there to be, like, with him just to have some character development. He's this powerhouse, but he has some kind of Achilles heel or some kind of kryptonite where someone figures it out and then everyone tries to capitalize on it, but no one can because I don't know what it is. Obviously not like a, I don't know, physical thing, but something that just breaks him.
Well, I mean,
That'd be cool.
And Lana gets so upset about that.
Like if you sing the opening keys to America the Beautiful, he weeps. Something fun. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Lana's the one who gives him all the direction, so I think the natural thing would be, like, let's say Lana's distracted or taken out by, like, another diva at ringside, and...
Or she starts flirting with someone else and he, like, gets pissed.
Or George the Animal Steel comes down and takes her over
and then
his
he
shoulder.
pokes their eyeball out and
Mine!
smashes their face in.
I just bring it up because we've seen this is a wrestling trope that's been out there for a long time, going back. I mean, they make a reference to Umaga back, getting him over about 10 years ago now, where it's like the big guy, he steamrolls things and gets a title. And then what? And it didn't quite work with Ryback. It didn't quite work with Tensai when they tried that thing. So I'm just wondering, I'm putting it out there, how can they make this one work? Because they're definitely trying that path again.
I mean, I would have thought Big E would have been something, but he destroyed Big E in like 3 minutes.
Right.
So what are you going to do there?
And that's the thing, too. It's like we haven't seen him in a long match. I mean, on NXT, he had a really good match with Ziggler that was like good 10, 12 minutes long.
Well, of course. Ziggler, you put Ziggler in with a roll of toilet paper, you know, and he'll destroy it. You know?
That was a very specific thing to put
The toilet paper on the
Or paper
match?
towels. I don't know. Just any brawny product. He'll still make it look good.
What?
Just saying.
right.
I mean, Rusev's awesome, but who's he gonna not destroy too hard? That's my question.
I mean, we should have him see, like, let's have him go in against, like, a Sheamus. Someone who's, like, established enough, but also can afford a loss. So that, because, I mean, like, as much as I love the guys he's killing, I mean, it doesn't really mean that much if you see him kill R-Truth again.
Right. Right.
I don't really understand the whole medal thing.
Him winning. I don't know, just one more tool to kind of get him over. Now they're highlighting it. You know, and I noticed now Justin Roberts is now handling his intros. Before it was kind of Lana. I wonder if they're doing that to like put this is who this guy is. Get it. I don't know.
Well, you do have to be careful of that because it's. I mean, Fandango, he was getting overshadowed by Summer Rae, so they switched her on out.
Yeah, wouldn't you know what shot the Marine, which I'm dying to see the Marine for.
Yeah. How are you gonna make Summer Rae look like a normal? She's too hot to be a normal person in that movie. I don't know. Maybe she's not going to be a normal
people
person.
are normal people too,
You
Johnny.
put them in cargo pants.
From Old Navy.
That's how you make them not hot.
Yeah,
Capris,
that works
sweaters.
for a lot of people. Yeah,
Perhaps.
ponytails. I don't know.
There are hot people in the military, though.
So Rybacksel's in the ring next.
Said Cathy
ready
knowingly.
for action. Goldust is by him. Well, but Goldust comes out, and we're like, oh, who's going to be his partner? What's up?
Oh yeah.
R-Truth is the new person in the merry-go-round of Goldust partners, and I think this maybe 3-4 minutes. Rybacksel with the W. Once again, this is where we're in the wrestling challenge portion of the show.
Yes. And
So right.
speaking of wrestling tropes, my favorite thing of the past, like maybe 3-4 years, is a video camera on a wrestler watching a wrestling match because they just don't know how to act. And the one go-to move is always the wringing of the hands. This shows I'm interested, and this shows I'm disappointed.
It was very It's just
Which again, why are the Shield at any time watching matches backstage when they enter from the audience? That's one of those little nitpicky things.
Yeah. I would love them to have a shot of them like watching on like a little iPad.
Yeah.
That they're like looking for like a charger for because shoot, I'm out of batteries here.
Out of the bus or parking lot.
Who's got an iPhone 4? Everyone's got 5. So yeah, this is not the end of Cody and Goldust for tonight. We'll get to that a little bit later on the show. I love this next segment. Layla's backstage getting her makeup on, just trashing Minneapolis and Minnesota and saying, oh, there's just no class here. And isn't Summer Rae from Minnesota? She can't even get another word out before she gets doused with what I thought was green milk. Was it green?
No, it was regular.
Or was the
but it
color correction
it
on
was
TV
I
wrong?
think our
really
TV
thick.
was a little off.
I thought it was
No,
green
it
milk.
looked white.
It
What
was
are you
thick.
talking
No, it
about?
didn't. It looked like
From
Shamrock
my
Shake.
Angle, it looked white.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It looked like St. Patrick's Day milk.
You thought it was like a double dare sliming or
It
something
just
I got
like that.
pumped,
or-
man.
It
I was
looked
excited.
Really thick.
It looked like minty
that was
milk.
Whole milk.
Count me in with some minty milk,
It was
man.
not green.
All right. Anyways.
I just very much liked that she was going on and on about how Summer Rae has no class, and Summer Rae did the most classless thing I can imagine, which is sneak attack someone with milk. There are hungry children
And smash
in this
their
country.
head off the table
Yes.
a bunch.
Classless act by Summer Rae.
But it was pretty sweet.
You enjoyed watching that for you
Yeah,
loved it, huh?
absolutely.
What is it?
I love a good food fight.
Or you just don't like Layla that much?
I dig Layla. No, one of my favorite segments of all time was the Stone Cold Booker T fight in the supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a next level thing, though. Oof,
you get a good food fight,
Love
I
that.
will pop every time. I was in, man. I was in with that. Next up, we're going to see Layla and Fandango a little bit later on in the show. 3MB's in the ring saying, you know, the Shield isn't about action, but we are. Next thing you know, Shield hits the ring. This wasn't even a match. The bell never rang, did it?
No, it was just jobbers get out of our ring.
Basically.
There's no better jobber faction in maybe history than 3MB.
Okay.
Maybe
I mean,
the Job
history.
Squad,
we
but,
have
like,
to
I don't
think
even
about
think
that.
them.
We have to think about that. But you're right. I mean,
They're definitely in the conversation. They're fun.
Every
They've
single
turned to be
time.
pretty fun.
Every
in
single
defeat.
time.
people love them. I love them. I think they're great. I mean, Heath Slater. I'll tell you what, man. At NXT and you know when he actually became part of the roster and Nexus and all that, I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell he was going to stick around, but he has.
Found a way to do it.
He's done a good job.
He gets beaten up, and it's more satisfying to watch him get beaten up than anyone.
It's almost like he enjoys it at this point.
Yes.
He knows it's coming, but people are. If it wasn't the Shield, like people are actually starting to cheer for 3MB, which is fantastic. Oh God, what if they just get him a string of victories somehow?
They did for a little bit, like months and months ago. They had several, or I don't know, not several, 2 or 3 victories, and I remember being so surprised, but loving it too.
On Superstars or Main Event a few weeks ago, Heath Slater beat Kofi Kingston. And it was just one of those things where you're like, I don't know if this is amazing for Heath or just terrible for Kofi or both, but did not see that one coming.
Yeah, exactly. But they destroy 3MB. Just Heath Slater starts to retreat, and out of nowhere he gets speared by Reigns. I don't know how Reigns got out there.
Yeah, it was like the camera missed it the first time. Because I mean, like we see the other two just getting mauled by the Shield. No Hornswoggle in sight. He's a traitor, and so then you see Heath just sort of backing up the ramp, watching his friends get killed, and just says, "Come on, guys, we're leaving."
Yeah, right.
As if they're not dead, and then turns and Roman Reigns must have teleported or something. I don't know what happened, but. Then they come back to the ring, and it's promo time.
Yep, that's pretty much
Hornswoggle's
it.
trying to figure out what to do with his hairstyle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wasn't there tonight.
That dastardly El Torito.
He has the Hulk Hogan skullet, which I think works for him.
I think you should keep it, especially with the Leprechaun coming
It
up.
scares me. I don't want to look at that.
Well, fine, Kathy. Judge him, why don't you? Ambrose gets on the mic. He says they dominated WWE, even Evolution, but they weren't healthy because they had a cancer. And that cancer was Seth Rollins. Ambrose was so good in this.
I'm going to dub this the Princess Bride to the Pain promo because he doesn't want to kill Seth Rollins. He wants to take him apart piece by piece and leave him hearing the shrieks from the women as Seth Rollins walks with a nose up by his dismembered ear and his hair pulled out and
He
all
looks
this
like
stuff.
a Van Gogh painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, rip the hair out by the root and shove it in your mouth, and there'll be extra room because your teeth won't be there anymore.
It was
just lurid detail.
Yeah, it was graphic.
It was pretty cool. Just the way, I can't even do it justice to try to repeat what he's talked about, moving his nose to his ear.
Every part of this, even like before he starts, the crowd is just like waiting for the media, and he's just holding the microphone and just trying to compose himself enough so that he can like not scream this promo.
That's good. I love watching Ambrose work, man. Rollins has got the moves and the pop moments, and he sells like a champ. And Reigns has got the pedigree, and I understand that he'll probably eventually be the world champ. But Ambrose just has that unhinged kind of inbuilt tension that he brings, and I love watching him. And tonight he kind of went crazy. I loved it.
No doubt about that. It was almost like this was Dean Ambrose. And we talked in the past about how he's kind of been under the radar, not under the radar, but Seth Rollins was kind of, you know.
Seth Rollins, like, I love him, but his mic work is his weakest point. And with the Shield, they were trying to do the thing where they're all equal, so they gave them all equal mic time.
Right.
And I don't understand why they didn't just have, you know, Ambrose come in and just cut the majority of the promos and have the other two look tough in the background. But Rollins was such a good choice to be the heel because he was the one who, of the three of them, would probably be lost in the shuffle when they did get broken up. So by doing this, he just raised his stock. Now, also, when we have Shield promos, Ambrose gets more time. We get to see him with, like, some real meat behind the story. And Reigns gets to, you know, just do his usual believe in the Shield, I'm the tough guy.
Yeah. And God, that promo was good. Even Reigns he stepped it up a notch with his mic work tonight.
A lot better. Yeah. He's getting there. He definitely has a certain charisma that's there, just his size and his power behind what he's doing.
And Ambrose, man, Reigns even kind of laughed when he took the mic. It's like, how do you keep a straight face when he's literally that maniacal all the time?
I feel like a schoolgirl every time I see those two because I'm just swooning over it. I was like, oh, did you see when he did this week? Because I mean, Ambrose just cuts this amazing promo and just slaps the mic out of his own hand and just starts pacing. He's just so pumped of this promo he cut. But then he turns and realizes, oh, it's gonna look dumb if Reigns has to like reach down and pick it up. So he like apologizes, like, I'm sorry, and gives it to him. And Reigns just can't keep it together. It's just.
I want to know where Ambrose gets some of these facial, like, I don't know, expressions. Like, it looks like a snake or some kind of reptile, Voldemort-y, I don't know.
He's a lizard, people.
Yeah.
No, he's been working on it for years. I mean, going back to the CZW days, he's just been working on it for...
Weird.
He's always had something like
his promos have always been his strong point. I mean, type in John Moxley, his like old indie name, and there'll be like 30-minute compilations on YouTube of just him talking about, you know, like, oh, growing up in the streets, and you know, it's like, I just want blood, and just like the craziest. Like, watch him unhinged and uncensored, and you'll see why they were just like. That's okay, we want him.
It's kind of how Foley used to be in ECW.
Exactly, yeah.
Very much. They would, like, I know Paul Heyman would just put a camera and just like, and go. Just let him fly. And that's exactly what Ambrose used to do. And first off, he's amazing in the ring. We saw it in the main event, we saw it, which we'll get to. And then there's, of course, a Game of Thrones reference by Roman Reigns. Solid. Next, we got the Usos, and then Fandango comes out with a very milky Layla L. Then...
I said soggy in my notes.
Soggy's good.
It's more appropriate.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, you might as well just, for the day.
You might as well just said moist Layla if you want to be gross. See,
yeah, she was damp. Oh. That's for sure. But what comes out next is something that's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll explain it.
Ribbon twirling.
Damien Sandow.
Unitard wearing, pompadour having.
His silhouette at first looked kind of like Brad Maddox, though.
It did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was. You were happy about. I thought it was Maddox. Thought it was Maddox at first.
But no, this has been, Damien Sandow's been doing this for a couple weeks now. He's been just coming out as weird costume gimmick characters, and this is him at speechless almost when we first saw it.
Good luck topping.
This almost rivals the Magneto thing. Not quite, but...
Oh, this is, in my opinion, this is better than Magneto.
Above, yes.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, Hugh Jackman, I don't give a damn. This is better.
Because he has to leave nothing to the imagination with that outfit. He has to twirl a rhythm gymnastics ribbon as he comes down to the ring.
That is an Olympic sport.
It is. They're athletes. And then he commits fully. Lesson to you young wrestlers. If you've got something and you're on TV, if you are given the part of a puffy lemon, you be that lemon, and guess what? People will buy into it. And what did we get?
Yeah, if you're given the gimmick of, okay, you're a zombie and you're going to have a guy who has your ashes in his urn. That sounds stupid, but you commit to it, maybe something will happen.
Perfect example on even on an AfterBuzz level. One of the hosts we always have here on the show, the man on your shirt, the Hobo, one of the more popular wrestlers in Southern California because he is fully committed, even committed when he's on this show, which bugs a lot of people, but he's still committed regardless, and he is fantastic. If you commit to the character, it works.
I love Hobo. Obviously, I got the shirt. He was one of the first wrestlers to work for us at Millennium Pro Wrestling 4 years ago, and I've watched that character grow, and it is him, and I love it, and that's a good lesson, because what happened tonight? The crowd started cheering for Sandow.
Oh, God, let's go Sandow chants abound.
Boos to the Usos.
Yeah. It's because, well, how are you not going to cheer for Sandow? He's in a onesie, ribbon dancing.
Cojones.
And pulling it off.
Yeah.
And doing it.
So well.
You can see his cojones. And he's
I
doing
know.
it. And 5 years from now, you are not going to really remember the Usos' title reign as much as you can remember Sandow dancing around with a rhythm.
Or dressed as a Lance Stevenson. Or dressed as, what the hell else has he been doing? Came out as a cowboy, didn't he? Pecos Bill. No, not Pecos Bill. Davy Crockett.
Yeah, Davy Crockett. That's
Same guy. I don't know what Pecos Bill did, but something with guns in the Midwest. Not the Midwest, the Old West. Whatever.
I was holding this one in, but Busos, if you will.
Hashtag Busos?
Yeah, no, but I mean, he comes in, he tags in, the fans go absolutely nuts. He hits like a move or two, just twirls, turns around, gets an amazing flying super kick to the face.
Yeah.
And beaten. And then the fans are just still, we wanted more of that.
You know what he reminded me of? If any Big Lebowski fans out there, he reminded me of that character that got his dance quintet, and then he put on the show, the one-man show. It's exactly the same outfit, minus the leaves. But, I mean, I don't know how Sandow's going to top this. I still don't really understand what he's doing.
Yeah. And that's the thing with him. It's like when he came in, he was so good because he's always been about committing to his character.
Yeah.
You know, he had the robe. He would hold the mic like a sifter of brandy. And he would just like, you could tell he was on thesaurus.com all day long, just like getting ready for these promos. Then they just stripped him down to, oh, he's a guy in a shirt who's kind of smart, I guess. And now they're just giving him something every week, and every week he commits. And it's that thing of like, at first you're like, oh, what? Like, you feel bad for him, but then you see how much fun he's having every week. I feel like this is going to get him over in the long run.
They'll find something. They'll find something to get him. Something will come of this. And
something will stick.
Well, Sandow's always been over, in my opinion. I just feel like, I don't know what happened to ruin his...
It seemed like a sudden turn. He got the money in the bank, and we as fans can sit there and armchair book and armchair quarterback what happens. But I think you're right. They'll find something from this, and he's committing, showing full energy, and something will come of it.
And you know it's got to be fun. Being a writer's not easy for them, and this is one thing where like you could actually maybe laugh about when you're coming up with the idea. It's like, let's put him in a onesie and a ribbon.
And he's like, all right,
do it. And to his credit, he's doing it. I don't think the word no is in his vocabulary. That's proven tonight.
And that's a large vocabulary.
Yes, it is. So kudos, Damian Sandow. We don't know what you're doing, but keep it up.
I like it.
I give you a 10. Not that I've ever judged ribbon dancing, but kudos. Xavier Woods in the ring. Speaking of guys that we don't really know what's happening, it's time to believe, everyone. He says Daniel Bryan, if he wants to recover fast, all he's got to do is believe. And, you know, Bo Dallas in control for almost the entire match. Bo Dog for the win. Is there anything else that needs to be said?
The fans started chanting CM Punk quite loudly. And I think the reason he's not coming back is because the fans won't believe.
Yeah, it could be. I think he should have got on the mic and said that. Like, well, that guy you were chanting for, he definitely doesn't believe.
And it's so weird how every time you look at him, you're like, oh yeah, this is Bray Wyatt's brother. And then you look at him, you're like, oh, that is Bray Wyatt's brother.
Yeah, well.
Rotunda.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Bo Dallas, guys? 6-0. Victory lap. I watch NXT. I don't watch it every week, so I'm not fully. I'm behind Bo Dallas, the talent, more than this character, but I'm not against this character. I just want to see the direction it takes. I love the super baby face being a heel. I want to see more. I want to see in ring where he's giving them inspiration as he's beating them, not after the match. Stuff like that.
That's the thing, is that we've seen so much more of his character development on NXT, and I feel like I like him because of that. And I don't know that people are fully getting to experience him, Paige, a lot of the other newcomers, Rusev,
Emma
through
as
their characters. Yeah.
One of my thoughts, and this is one of the themes I have in a lot of geek culture, pop culture things I follow. We're all in that bubble. you watch NXT, you watch NXT, I watch NXT. I was so excited. I marked out like crazy when Paige came in and won.
I know.
Guess what? 80% of the people in the audience have no idea. NXT is something they've heard on these commercials for the network.
Yeah.
So
I was
it's
the one
interesting to
person
see.
that got mad when Paige won the title. I was like, no.
But for me,
I was so excited.
it's interesting to see the natural reaction to these gimmicks at on a large crowd level.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's flat.
The thing, though, is there's a lot of nuance to the character that gets lost from NXT to the main roster. Because one of the things that made, like, Paige so good is that she's, 21, 22 years old, but she's been wrestling since she was 14. So she's a seasoned veteran already.
Grew up with it.
And in NXT, they portray her as, she's a grizzled veteran. She'll do whatever it takes to win. Whereas in the roster, it's like, oh, she's a 21-year-old plucky underdog.
Yeah.
Or Bo Dallas, I mean, his whole thing was he was a babyface in NXT who was sort of shoved down our throats like Cena, and then the fans just turned on him. So they said, okay, we're just going to keep doing this to the nth degree. You keep playing up the babyface just to make them boo you more.
Yeah.
So he was almost like Rocky Maivia style.
He's the delusional guy that thinks that everyone loves him, had these temper tantrum breakdowns, which were amazing, and finally got kicked off of NXT.
It was the most unbelievable thing because he would like literally bring cookies for the audience, and he would be like wearing sweaters, and he's like, yo, I'm your friend. And he finally lost a loser leaves town match in NXT against Big E, and just threw the greatest tantrum because he didn't like snap. He kept the happy persona, but was very angry. He was like, I strongly dislike all of you. I gave you cookies, and they're all
chanting, Bo, leave! Bo, leave!
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he says, why are you all here? You should leave. I'm going to call the cops.
And didn't he run away and come back?
No,
several times.
He says, all right, I didn't call the police, but I'm definitely calling campus security.
Yeah. And then I love the part when he said, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger man, and I'm going to leave. I'll show you all. I'm the better person.
Maybe we'll get to that.
I hope so, but they're so, like, they'll find the one thing that really got him over and not realize that it was a process to get him over. Like, Emma, like, she was a heel for a long time, and she would, start doing this as, like, although look how cool I am.
Emma was a heel?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recall those days.
In NXT, yeah.
A while ago.
And she would do this as sort of like a look how cool I am, and it was just so ludicrous that people started doing it along, and it sort of turned her into a babyface.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know if Vince doesn't watch that closely, or if they just want to, like, speed up the process, but they just bring Emma in, and it's like, okay, your gimmick is you do a stupid dance, not realize that, no, it was a process to get there, which is why we love her.
Yeah. And like you said, it's a much bigger scale, and what will work in front of a couple hundred people might not necessarily.
What you said about Bo Dallas is you have a smaller arena down there, Full Sail. You can be a little more subtle, nuanced, and everything. Here you can't. So I love a lot of the NXT roster. So it's kind of frustrating to me to see when Emma shows up, and I'm like, no one else is dancing. Oh, okay, no one's dancing with me. But I want to see it work. I want to see Rusev work. I want to see Big E work to a point.
And Xavier Woods is a great example. When he got moved up, everyone was so excited, and there was never anything behind it. It's like they brought him up just to piss off what's his name? Damn it, the dancing dinosaur. I can't think of it. Brodus Clay. It's like that's why they brought him up, just to get him mad.
Speaking of gimmicks simplified.
Right, and then all of a sudden he's good. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. But and then all of a sudden there was nothing for Xavier Woods.
Yeah, they got a lot of great talent down there. And that's why I'm saying this is asking this question more as frustration as someone who has watched the show down there NXT, and it's like, there's so much great talent, and then to see them all kind of come up and the crowds. But you have to remember, 80% of the crowd just doesn't know anything of these people before they hit.
I mean, with Rusev, if you brought back his little gimmick of
breaking the wood
over his leg, like that would get him over. People would think automatically, okay, this guy is a powerhouse, even though it's a piece of freaking wood. Like,
with his opponent's name on the wood.
It's the symbolism.
Yeah, I've never broken wood over my leg, so I'm impressed when I see it.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
I tried, but Cathy said she didn't watch it.
Next, we have Paul Heyman in the ring. Did you guys know that he is the man behind the 1 in 1 in 21? 21 and 1, whatever.
He's the one behind the 1 in
1 behind the 1.
21.
Wait, I'm a little
It's like
lost.
an insurance commercial.
Yeah, he has a client named Brock Lesnar.
Oh, what, the NCAA guy?
Yeah, MMA,
Wasn't he in
cauliflower
UFC,
ear.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
University of Minnesota's own?
Of course. He did not show up tonight. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, which ended a big streak.
He beat the streak?
Yeah, and Paul Heyman, he let us know tonight for the first time.
Oh.
And of course, Brock Lesnar was a star at University of Minnesota and said he wants to have a party tonight. But I don't know if it made sense, but then he just brought out Cesaro.
He said, it's like, we want to have this be the official celebration party for Brock Lesnar. So out it comes the man at WrestleMania who won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So basically, it was a big tease of Brock is going to be here because they're trying to get Cesaro over as a heel, which that also is confusing because people just want to cheer him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. This is one time, and Heyman can help anybody. This is one time I don't think he needed Heyman. I really don't.
It's weird, just like him winning that Battle Royal at WrestleMania was a huge like vote of confidence. Yeah. And then when they put him with Heyman, it was a kind of a like, oh, that kind of elevates him, but kind of not because he's almost past. But I don't know because maybe they don't want him talking or what.
Unless this is going to lead to Heyman. I'm sorry, Cesaro Lesnar, because I don't know. They fight over Heyman versus maybe.
A lot of people fighting over the services and love of Heyman in wrestling these days, huh?
Yeah.
What was awkward is Cesaro broke from Zeb and Swagger, and that's kind of a face move, and all of a sudden now he's with the bigger heel manager, so it was kind of a curveball. But insiders love Heyman, but the fans are reacting to Cesaro in a very natural way with his moveset. So yeah, it's confusing, and I think tonight was kind of try to be like, no, he's a bad guy, he's a heel, boo him.
I feel like they put him with Heyman, and that kind of shows that he's going to be one of the top guys on the roster. Like, it was a vote of confidence.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that Battle Royal was a huge stepping stone, and then being with Heyman, it's not really a ladder so much as just kind of like one of those like walkways at the airport where he's just like going straight ahead and not really up necessarily. So eventually he'll be going up because I'm sure they'll do the split, and it'll be him versus Lesnar, and then he'll be catapulted to that next level, but until then, we're just like waiting. But you just want to cheer him forever. Even like his like crazy jacket that looks overstuffed.
His walk to the ring is so pompous, and
it's so Vince McMahon. It's just because his jacket doesn't fit him, so he has to just.
Can I just say that you have the weirdest metaphors ever? It's the thing at the airport that goes.
The walkway. I live out of airports, so I don't know anything else.
No, I know. I feel you, man. Anyway, he wrestles RVD in a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and once again, Cesaro coming out on top. Really solid uppercut in the corner, then hits the neutralizer as he stares RVD down and gets the win. So now he is in the Money in the Bank match as well.
And do you like that?
Yeah.
You said you sounded a little disappointed earlier about the participants. So
just because I
was
don't
happy
know.
about this one.
Yeah, I'm happy about. Yeah, I'm happy about. I just want a surprise.
Yeah.
The last two got to be keyed in.
Is it 2 or 3 that are left?
2, I believe.
2.
Yeah. I just don't know that they would give it to Cesaro, even though I want him to have a title reign soon. I don't know that they've built him up enough recently to get it.
This would be occasion if they still had just the world title. That I could see that, but now that they've combined them, well, not really combined them, they hang them from the top. Still 2 separate belts. Now that there's one, it doesn't make sense at this time.
Yeah.
Now my question is, 2, it's called the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So now that the ladder match is for the title, we still got to have a Money in the Bank match, don't we?
I don't think they're going to.
Oh, come on, man.
I would love them to, but
you need a Money in the Bank briefcase, don't you?
But I don't know, it'd be a weird thing where maybe like all the losers of these matches get thrown into like the briefcase one, and all the winners go for the. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, they got time.
But why would they have the losers? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Maybe they have a losers or secondary tournament kind of thing where the
first person wins, and then the rest of them who like the runners up would all get in the ring and do a Money in the Bank.
To me, that's a really interesting storyline. You have the Money in the Bank match, someone wins the briefcase, and then you don't know, are they going to cash in whoever becomes the new champion? That's a really good storyline for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to Cesaro doing crazy strong spots in that match.
Yep. Yeah. He's going to...
I want him to swing someone into someone else.
Into a ladder.
Like...
He probably will.
How does that go again?
Yeah, do it. Anyway, next we have a tweet from Randy Orton. Easily the best tweet he's ever sent out. I got to see how many retweets there are. Just saying, sorry I couldn't be there tonight. He's just chilling at the beach or at the pool.
Just a smug troll face. Wish I could be there after he's already been announced into this match without having to do anything for it.
Yep. So badass. Next, are we finally going to get answers from Seth Rollins? Michael Cole calls him out to the ring. Seth Rollins' new music. Thoughts?
The music's good. I mean, it's not bad.
I dug it.
It's good.
It fits him. I remember him back in the days where he would like mosh pit his way to the ring, and I always thought that was like awkward, and this music would fit him doing that. But luckily in this storyline, I can't see him doing that, so just don't mosh to the ring. I'm fine with your music.
I'm just curious to see what his gear's going to be. That's going to be part of the transition for me. We know that's going to happen. Finally, to see him out of the combat boots and the pants there. I get coming out in the suit tonight. I actually kind of wanted to see him dye his hair one color or something even more dramatic than just a music change. But in time.
Well, he wore a suit.
Yeah, yeah. The TNA way of making people legit. You put on a suit.
Yeah. Or the Evolution way.
Well,
it was a nice suit.
It was a very nice
You're wearing a sport coat. How are you going to criticize it?
I wear suits every day of my life. I'm
just
a little
saying.
bit of a suit expert here.
Well,
it was a good suit, but I don't want to see him wrestle in a suit.
You're going to love the way you look. Ken Napzols guarantees it.
I guarantee.
So I guess we kind of get answers from Seth Rollins, because what he said on SmackDown kind of pissed me off. He's like, "Oh, I don't have to tell you anything." It's like, "Nah, bro, you do." Like, I want a specific reason why he turned. This was a massive turn for all of us who were invested in the Shield, invested in watching, and I want a specific reason. And I guess he kind of gave us that, but not really.
It was a lot of subtext. I mean, like, everything he said was all kind of like talking points. I'm happy that he's where he's at now, because hopefully he'll get more and more comfortable on the mic. Because when he started off, it was pretty rocky, but then by the end, he started like sort of coming into his own. But it was just very much like, it's like, why is that a surprise? And it's like, oh, I did what was best for business, which is me, or I'm evolving. Just all the like cheesy talking points. When like I actually didn't see his turn live, I just heard about it and then rewatching it and just hearing about it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, they destroy Evolution in the first match. In the second match, clean sweep. Why would he turn when he's established that they're better than him? And, like, subtextually, you guess, oh, well, why are we going to keep fighting them when there's no benefit to me? Or, I've literally proven to Triple H, you would need me, and I can make more money, I can get title shots, I can do that. So, I mean, say that, but maybe it's too on the head. I don't know.
He hasn't really said it, though. He just said, they thought I was brothers with them. It turns out we were just business partners, and I severed the business relationship. Start believing in Seth Rollins. To me, I don't know. I want a better answer than that. I don't know what the listeners think and the viewers think, but I want a better answer.
A lot of people are saying, I got a lot of tweets this past week that they think that he's an undercover kind of agent in this whole thing.
He's an undercover brother.
I mean, he's,
a swerve of a swerve. The only thing I liked about his promo tonight, the interview with Cole was okay, but the key theme that he's got going on is I didn't sell out, I bought in. So they're going to have to build off that, because your point is very valid. Why would you do this if it didn't get you something?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, they won. It's as if, like, America beats the... I hope this is a good enough metaphor for you, Kathy. It's as if the Americans, beat the Germans in World War I, and then all of a sudden our president just defects to Germany because... Like, they won, and then he joined the losing side. And I mean, granted, they have more power than they do financially. That made sense as opposed to just, oh, why were you surprised? I was the architect. I evolved. It's just like that. You're speaking in talking points that doesn't make any sense.
I try not to go into those online, well, here's why they did this kind of rumor.
I don't go to dirt sheets either.
But we did hear the one that this was kind of let's do this switch now. And so there's the fact that he didn't come out on SmackDown, which is taped, and then come on Friday and give an answer. This interview should have happened on SmackDown if they wanted us to care about SmackDown. I get waiting for Raw, but to get those ratings up. But it hasn't been explained yet. I agree with both of you.
I really hope that a real reason comes out, because I think that's what everyone needs. You want a specific reason, not, like you said, kind of speaking in riddles.
Exactly, and not even riddles, just talking points, just like speaking in catchphrases. It's as if he came out there and was like...
He was given a PowerPoint presentation almost.
Yeah, just when you thought you knew the answers, I changed the questions. Boom. You can't see me. It's
Shout out to Roddy Piper.
Yeah, Roddy, Legends House, last episode, emotional.
It's gonna be. Anyways, so he invites the Shield to come to the ring. As they charge, the lights are gonna go out. The Wyatt family shows up. They start destroying the Shield. They almost get their hands on Seth Rollins. Next thing you know, Cena to the rescue. Wyatt's retreat. So later on tonight, we're going to have The Shield and Cena versus the Wyatt family. But first...
Never did I ever think I would see Cena and The Shield working together.
No. I was really hoping he would come out in
the Riot gear.
Seth Rollins' old gear. Yeah.
Literally his old gear, just like way too small.
Exactly.
And just busting out of it.
Like, are you wearing capris, bro? Next, we have Paige versus Alicia Fox with Oksana at ringside. Kind of...
To serve a story point.
Yeah. Kind of similar to their other matches. Fox in control for most of it. A lot of screaming. Paige finally gets pissed off, screams back, slams her into Oksana, locks in the PTO for the win. So, do we want to talk about the match first and then talk about what happened afterwards?
Well, I mean, you just described the entire match. They wrestled and Paige won. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, good enough, but I mean, it's just that thing of like... Another thing with NXT, they devote so much time and care into the women's storylines. Like at NXT TakeOver, Charlotte versus Natty.
Oh, it was great.
Amazing match.
NXT TakeOver all the matches, but
but that one might have been match of the night.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like a huge Sami Zayn fan. I remember him like back on the Indies, or his hero he idolized, El Generico. Like, I love everything that he does. Match of the night had to have been the two women because they gave it care and they gave it a storyline. Whereas here it's just, Paige is kind of the plucky underdog who never gets offense except for when she wins, and she's being herself now, and she won. But the fans just didn't quite know how to react to it, and they're just waiting for Alicia to be Alicia.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What she did, she went out and grabbed some water and a big old bucket of popcorn, starts beating up Oksana after Oksana helped her up, and then Baby Bird's some popcorn to Oksana, and then apologizes and kisses her, and then shoves more popcorn in her face.
Does the arena reimburse the fans that they took the probably $14 bucket of popcorn from?
Big bucket of popcorn.
I hope it's a plan. Like the grandmothers back in the old days of wrestling.
Yeah. I was wondering that too, because you don't know you're grabbing 2 bottles of water from someone with Hep C. You don't know. Come on, this is I don't know.
That's true.
Or backwash, even worse.
Even worse.
And that's a big thing of popcorn. Who eats that much popcorn at an event? Come on now.
Yeah. This girl interrupted storyline with Alicia Fox. I don't know where it's going, but I'm kind of amused.
I love Alicia. I
love it. This
fun.
week it didn't really seem like it progressed the storyline anymore.
It's the walkway at the airport.
I love those metaphors, by the way. I didn't mean to knock you for that.
I use those walkways all the time.
My mom calls them flatulators because they're like flat escalators.
That sounds different than I would have.
That sounds like a fart machine.
Yeah, your mom's brilliant.
Sounds like something like Wonka made.
The flatulator.
Ride the flatulator, children!
It's delicious fun.
And it's a shame.
Augustus, get away from the flatulator! Go ahead.
Look what I started. No, it's okay. I think it's a shame that we haven't seen Paige really get to shine yet. She's so good. The speed and conviction of her wrestling moves are what makes her so good. She's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't put the word female wrestler in front of her because she's so good. She's like watching Melissa Anderson. To me,
man.
which I just got to see in person again
last week.
Yeah, at CAC up in Vegas. Her and. Brittany Santana Garrett from TNA. She's in
nice.
TNA's Brittany.
Yeah.
Great match. What makes a wrestler good is the speed and conviction of your moves and how it does. And Paige has that. You watch NXT, you watch NXT. She has that.
I got to call a Melissa Anderson match last year. It was her and Katarina Lee. Wow.
Kat's retirement match, actually.
It was. Jeez. I mean, talk about snapmare suplexes and just fantastic.
So it's there. I hope they look at what they're doing in NXT and can maybe get it to that mass audience. So it's a little disappointing to watch it. Alicia Fox's tantrums overshadow Paige at this point, but again, I'm kind of amused by it.
But the thing with Paige that I really enjoy, and this is like me being uber nerdy and just like reading way too many wrestling books, I hear the thing that like
that's not nerdy, son.
Okay,
that's not nerdy.
Thank you. But apparently, the thing that makes a wrestler great, it's not being able to do the moves; it's being able to it's what you do in between the moves and continually conveying the story. And Paige, I mean, she's someone who debuted and won the title in her first night when, like you said, 80% of the audience did not know who she was. But she's so good at the in-between moments of just staying in character. And it's weird, for the longest time, the joke was, the Divas match time for a bathroom break. Yeah. But, I mean, the matches have been getting over
Absolutely.
more and more. I
It's
mean,
getting better.
They've been having 2 Divas matches
yeah.
in shows recently.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And it's a matter of Paige like knowing how to like just sell in between.
Oh, she
and
sells
from,
so great.
From point A to, it's not just like point A to point B. It's like no, it's like stay in. It's like one fluid thing. We're not just going from point to point. It's like one continual story.
They clearly didn't know what to do with the Divas division for a while after Eve left and then Caitlyn left and
Well, for the last 10 years.
AJ
Yeah.
left. I mean,
Well, frankly,
since I
when-
started watching, that's
Yeah.
what I noticed.
When
and
Trish
then,
left, frankly.
yeah,
It's so weird that AJ's just gone.
Well, I mean, she's engaged to CM Punk, and so
Oh, they're
there's that-
engaged?
Yeah.
Married soon, I know.
Yeah, I think
it's
this
coming up,
month,
right?
yeah.
So
Oh, wait, how fast of an engagement was that?
I have no idea how long they've been together, but they got engaged, I guess, like a few months ago.
Wow. All right. Well, that's then okay.
It's all a finely woven
Congratulations.
tapestry of gossip back there.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. We got a lot of the girls on NXT are coming up. Emma, we know Emma can work if they can ever find a way to break away from Santino.
And Charlotte apparently has only been training in wrestling for about 1 year.
Bull. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got those
I mean,
bloodlines.
Yeah.
Did she improve fast? Good God Almighty. That's impressive. Speaking of which, Zeb Coulter, everyone. Big ol' hoss, Jack Swagger taking on Santino. Zeb obviously wants Santino deported. Santino says Zeb can be deported back to where he's from, hell.
He can be exploited back.
That's right. So at one point, Big Hoss starts to lose his temper. He goes outside the ring. Zeb slaps him, gives him real good slap, like 2, bam, right to the face.
Paintbrushes him.
Really does. And that gets Big Hoss focused. And next thing you know, Santino's pulling out the Cobra. He counters. Got red suplex for the win. Big win for Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter. Real Americans. We the people.
I'm starting to like Jack Swagger.
Yep.
He's grown into a character without Cesaro and without.
He still needs Zeb, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. He's always been good. I remember him back in the old ECW days in 2006. Like, he's always been able to go in the ring. But it's that, like, lack of character direction. But with Zeb, I mean...
Even when he debuted this time with Zeb, I did not like it.
It was very...
Now I'm getting behind it.
It was uncomfortable when it first debuted because it was just like him coming out saying like
Really borderline stuff, yeah.
yeah, go back to your country. You do realize this is a wrestling audience and a lot of people kind of agree with you. Maybe you shouldn't be egging them on.
Zeb was cutting like Mid-South promos from '84 in a modern time. But I think, for me, I still watch Swagger for Zeb right now. But like you said, he knows how to go in a ring, and I think there's still potential there. And Zeb, he's still going strong, man. People love him. People react to him. It's fun.
I love it. And I still want another Real American. I want a tag team title run.
Yeah.
They never had it.
No.
Yeah.
I want one.
Big E did stick up for America.
I'd be okay
They
with
could
that.
bring in Mojo Rawley too from NXT because he
Yeah, but Mojo, could he be a heel though?
fighting.
I mean, like, I don't know. The NXT audience doesn't seem to take to him that much.
So it could work.
Yeah, exactly.
Bizarro.
Yeah, it's true. Goldust and Cody are now backstage. Cody has finally found someone good enough to be Goldust's partner. He says, someone you've never seen before who can magnify the magnificence of Goldust. What in the hell is he talking about? Someone we've never seen before? My guess is maybe it's Sandow.
I was thinking Sandow.
Yeah, like in, I don't know, some sort of silly gimmick. I like the fact
Sandust,
that would be amazing.
wouldn't it?
Or Goldow.
Yeah. I almost don't want it to be someone we ever. I want it to be him. Yeah.
I like the fact that there's like actual storylines going on in the mid card now, and like I'm genuinely intrigued to see what happens next week for something that isn't a main storyline.
Yep. I didn't like JBL. I get what he's trying to do, but he basically flat out called Cody untalented at one point. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you know Cody's one of the most talented guys in the roster. You don't have to go that far with it just because he lost some matches. But I get what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thoughts, Ken?
As you know, when I've been on the show this past year, I've spoken so highly of Goldust and Cody Rhodes as a tag team. I was disappointed to see them not get another chance to hold the titles, but I got it. I was hoping this would move to some SummerSlam match between them with something on the line. It still seems that way. It's just taking a longer time, and I actually don't mind the mid-card stories. Like you said, I think that's great. It's entertaining, and I'm intrigued to see who he comes up with. I actually hope it's like a new character.
Oh, that'd be great. I just don't think it will be.
No, I don't think it will be. And that's
also,
disappointing to me.
And I also wonder what the end game of the storyline is, because for the longest time it was that whole like, oh, Cody's gonna go heel, and then they kind of like hit the brakes on that, and then it sort of went into Cody was self-reflective and like, I'm the weak link of this team. It's not your fault. Let me do better for you. And I'm wondering if it's gonna be a thing of he realizes, oh, you keep losing, so you're the like weak link, or maybe it'll be a thing of maybe he finds a partner that actually is good and they go on a win streak and he gets jealous and then turns. I love that they're doing like a twist to what we were all expecting from like 2 months ago.
And don't forget, Cody and Sandow were partners.
They sure were
for quite some time. So
briefcase.
Rhodes Scholars.
Rhodes Scholars.
Just thinking. Triple H and Stephanie now backstage. She's mad about Cena always interfering in everyone's business, and who isn't? Triple H says this is the last time people will ever see the Shield. Vicky then shows up and says, hey, let's celebrate. There's no Brad Maddox or no Daniel Bryan. And she has champagne. She's pouring it, and she sneezes champagne all over Steph. Yes, just like that, Cathy. And then Steph slaps the champagne out of her hand and says, I fired you once and I'll do it again.
Well, as the legendary urban legend goes, Vince McMahon does not allow sneezing or sickness.
Yes.
So,
or yawning, I've heard.
Or yawning. So this might be a play on that. Stephanie just wasn't going to take it.
I bet it is.
The sneeze, for those listeners who aren't aware, Paul Heyman told a story of he was pitching a storyline to Vince McMahon, just like PowerPoint everything, just putting his heart and soul into this. And then at one point at the end, Vince sneezes, and Paul realizes he didn't hear a word of it because the entire time Vince tried willing himself not to sneeze.
And he was fixated on not sneezing.
The entire presentation, when Paul asked what he thought about it, Vince just goes, I sneezed, Paul.
That shows weakness.
Don't you just stare into the light and then you don't have to sneeze anymore?
No, staring in the light will make you sneeze.
What?
Absolutely. Every time I have to sneeze, I just stare into lights. I just stare directly into the lights and now I see spots. That was a bad idea.
Okay. I guess we...
You didn't sneeze.
Fun facts with Nat Baimel. But yeah, so he sneezes, and I guess the whole rest of the time, he was so fixated on the fact that he sneezed, and he's like, that shows less control. I sneezed. I love it.
I could go on for hours from like Vince Urban Legends.
Just
but
amazing.
We have one more match.
But I do like that little play on words. And hey, Vicky, it was nice to see her there. And I don't know, but I thought it was funny.
I thought she had walked off. I thought she was done, but she shows up to sneeze. Hey,
no, she got flown into Minneapolis just to sneeze and leave.
Sometimes you gotta sneeze. Next, the Shield's music hits. Then Cena comes out, followed by the Wyatt family. Damn. Ambrose on fire early on, and just a fantastic match. Tons of near falls, amazing spots, and then finally a spear by Roman Reigns for the win. Feel free, guys. Take it away.
I love Ambrose as the babyface in peril, because he's just a complete raving psychopath. So because you're supposed to feel pity for the person, like, oh, make the tag, stop getting beat up. But it almost seems like he likes the pain, but like he just doesn't want to lose more than he likes the pain. So he has that like snarl, little like, like going for it. And then when he the match starts, he just has some like great offense of just like throwing like crazy drop kicks and like just weird like Luthez presses where he starts punching the guy before they even get to the ground.
Very true.
And then, like, he's getting beaten up and you, like, feel sympathy for him, even though he's, like, the psychopath. And again, like, Cena makes the hot tag, and then he gets beaten up, and then Reigns makes the hot tag. And so it's that, like, evolution of, like, okay, who's going to be, like, the bigger babyface of this match? And Reigns was the savior.
Which is key to note. We always harp on Cena and Super Cena. What did he do? He allowed Reigns to have the spotlight tonight. He allowed Reigns to have the pins. That was nice to see. For me, the main event was slightly textbook. That's not a bad thing. It's what you wanted out of the main event. The good guys winning. So there were some great spots to fill that
Especially after Triple H promised the Shield would be no more after tonight.
Yeah. I just expected after the match for something more to happen.
Right.
Like, I feel like we were left hanging, or, wanting maybe just some kind of, I don't know, something to happen.
Which is okay. I mean, after last week, I don't know if, like, emotionally we can handle another, like, giant...
I didn't need that. I just, something, it seemed like, we're like,
it was a little bit flat. It was that thing of, like, oh,
The match is over. Yay! We'll see you next week. Yeah, sometimes. But last week, I mean, I was in Vegas when last week happened, and the Twitter universe exploded. I mean, Ronda Rousey's releasing a video of her when Rollins turned. I mean, it seemed to have an emotional impact. All jokes aside.
When we were here, we had people in 2 rooms over who were like, "Did someone just die in there because you were screaming?"
So they did a good job with it, but I think we all we had a week to kind of.
And obviously, I think they have a plan with everything, and then maybe we'll get more answers out of Rollins as time goes on. But he's in a suit tonight, so and we still have Reigns and Ambrose, brothers in arms.
And we had to show that, yeah, they were a weekend, but they're still a threat. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Cena with them is going to be like. I mean, obviously, it won't be like a long-term thing, but he'll help them out here or there. I mean, but aside from the ladder match at the next pay-per-view, I'm curious to see where else they're going.
That's a great point. That's a really good point, because, I mean, you already have Sheamus in the Money in the Bank match, so we know the U.S. title's not going to be up for grabs.
Maybe we'll have, like, another 6-man Cena and the Shield versus the New Evolution.
Yeah.
Could be. What are you going to do with the Wyatts? Maybe a 3-way dance, 9-man match?
I don't think Bray and Cena are done.
I hope they are.
Really?
Especially after Bray knocked him silly in a house show this weekend.
Is that what happened exactly?
Something like an elbow to the face. They stopped the match, but Cena continued the match after.
I told you that.
You told me, you didn't tell me how. You didn't tell me how he got a concussion. You said he got hurt.
You didn't ask. A concussion. It was like his eye got swollen shut. Which again, the most miraculous healing powers of any wrestler in history. Because like I heard yesterday at a house show, his eye was just completely swollen shut. Looked fine today.
He still continued the match. Yeah.
PMA, positive mental attitude. Right. Matt Foley, motivational speaker.
He is Super Cena.
Or Bo leaves. One of those two.
But we all bring up valid points here because it is. I'm excited with a lot of stuff that's happened the last couple of weeks, but it's kind of convoluted. They could go a lot of different directions, which is cool in one sense, but it's confusing to watch at times.
Are they going to put Rollins in the Money in the Bank? Like, or if he doesn't, then shouldn't he get pissed off at Triple H and say, "Oh, well, you promised me all of these things and you didn't deliver." Like, I mean, Batista just had that. They didn't deliver, even though they made all these promises. He called them out on it. So would he naturally, then get mad at Triple H, try to go back to the Shield, but they won't accept him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them very much, just because, I mean, there's guy, Daniel Bryan, got his neck hurt. And
they're
so
trying
now,
to figure out what to do.
And again, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but again, with Bryan, his whole history there has been like something bad happening, but him being better off for it. Like that whole Kane storyline, like was just not upward momentum for him. And to just sort of like stay away from that for a while and then come back in like a more positive storyline. Yay. So
we got less than 3 weeks until Money in the Bank, so besides the Money in the Bank ladder match, we have no idea what else is going to happen. Either way, it's always a fun pay-per-view. I still want a second ladder match. I want the briefcase to come into play in the next year. How are you going to not have a briefcase? That's all I'm saying.
No, I want one. Just as a fun experiment, like who would you put the belt on and who would you give a briefcase to, should that be where they go with the pay-per-view?
Well, I want to wait to see who the final two are. Because we could have a swerve. Maybe a surprise.
Well, like if you put anyone in those final spots, like who would you put the belt on?
I mean, I get the whole point about putting the belt on someone new, but I feel like it's a forced situation. So it's not going to be well thought. That's why I feel like Chris Jericho is the perfect short-term solution. Put him in there. He's always been putting people over since he came back. Why not give him a title run?
Is he set to come back?
I don't know. I'm just look. I'm just saying it'd be great. It'd be a great solution.
He took that hypothetical part of my question to heart. I like it.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think Hulk Hogan should win it all.
I go straight hypothetical. I don't know. I don't go to the dirt. I have no idea. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Cathy Kelley, put yourself over.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley and here doing a bunch of different shows.
That's right. Kenny Napzol.
Again, at Ken Napzols and at Wrestling VN for the Wrestling Viewpoint Network. And Schmoes Know every week, every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST on schmoesknow.com from the AfterBuzz TV studios.
Nat Baimel.
You can find me at Nat Baimel. Also, if you're in Las Vegas, June 27th and 28th, I'll be at the Silver Sevens Casino.
Boom. Every week, Dale Rutledge and I on the Wrestling and Padres Slamcast at Wrestling Buds. This weekend, I'm in Arizona. If you're in Scottsdale, hit me up on social media. Come see my comedy shows. And this Sunday, the Red Carpet Rumble for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. If you're in Southern California, you need to go to this. It's amazing. The lineup is ridiculous. Go to HollywoodWrestling.com to check it out. With that said, we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.